What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another Diablo Immortal video, where today we're talking about time and how time changes throughout our lives and what we do inside of that time, well, how it completely turn around. What is up, my friends? My name is Echo and welcome back to the channel, where today the focus is Diablo Immortal Crusader gameplay, and the discussion is how time changes and how much busier life can get. I'm gonna kind of take you guys on a journey like we're on right now. So I think back to my wife, when my wife and I were dating back when she was in college, and I remember she had some internship working in a school, working with kids, and talking about how busy time was, right? She still would like take a nap in the middle of the day. She would work with kids. She really wouldn't do much in the evening, and it was, you know, a busy life for her. We joke around now because life has gotten so much crazier, probably 10 times more busy than it was for her back then. But not only for her, this video is not about her and her life experience, but more about mine. So I think back to when I'm out of school, out of college. If you guys didn't realize or didn't know, I was a teacher before I started doing YouTube full time. And I used to, in the evenings, 10 o'clock at night would come around, I'd be hopping on playing Gears of War. I'd be playing Gears of War until 1 or 2 a.m., at least on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. You know, Thursday night, you figure I can get through one day of work being tired. Friday night, it's Friday night. We gotta do Gears. Saturday night, well, there's no work on Sunday, so we're gonna gear it up. And then Sunday, you finally would crash, get some good sleep. But tons of time watching shows, going out with friends, just things that you take for granted. And recently, probably 3 weeks ago, my wife and I, we had our kids go to the grandparents for the weekend. So we had a weekend to ourselves. We were sitting around like, wow, we have a ton of time right now. What did we used to do with the time that we had? And that's what kind of inspired this video right here, plus thinking about the amount of time that you need to invest inside of Diablo Immortal. So I'm gonna tie these two topics together in just a little bit. So I think it's important that I kind of take you in on my day, all right? What my day actually looks like. I wake up around 6:30 in the morning. I'm in charge of getting my kids ready, taking them to school, because my wife has to get to her job before I have to get to mine. So what I'll do, get my kids ready, breakfast, get them dressed, and I drive them to both of their schools. They go to separate schools. I have a 5-year-old and I have an 8-year-old. I'm back in my house around 9 o'clock. Now from 9 o'clock to approximately 4 o'clock, I have a job that I do. It's basically a full-time job, virtual, working from home, but I really can't do much other stuff. I can't play too many games. I definitely can't record any videos, and I can't do any live streaming in this time. This has been something that I've picked up recently because it just helps support my family. So then 4 o'clock comes around, actually 3:30, and my kids are coming home from school. Now, I'm not the dad who works from home and has the kids running around the house. Basically, when my kids come home from school, I leave the office and I spend time with them. Not only that, one of my sons, Carter, he's in 4 different sports, and Brody, the 5-year-old, he plays baseball. Now, I coach a number of these sports, which means not only for games, but also for practices, I need to be there to participate in these sports activities with my kids. Then come home, showers, dinner time. Finally, the kids are sleeping around 9 o'clock. That's when I get my time back. But wait, we have to spend some time with the wife, right? So let's say we spend an hour to an hour and a half with the wife. That takes us to about 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night. That is when I finally am able to come back into my office, right where I am right now, and start doing my YouTube content. Record videos, or just sit down, play some Diablo Immortal, record some footage, or sometimes on a night where I'm really just out of it, just kick back and watch some YouTube, ingest some YouTube. So this is what I was trying to talk about here. Diablo Immortal is a game that takes a lot of your time. Now, I don't know how many of you out there are parents. I don't know how many of you out there work essentially 2 jobs, because really that's what I'm doing. I'm working my virtual job that has nothing to do with YouTube during the day, and then the evenings I'm working YouTube. That doesn't take into account the times that I'm being contracted to do esports, right? Because now for the next month, 2 times a week, I've been contracted to work with the ESL to do some Clash of Clans and Brawl Stars casting, which is basically announcing of their professional esports events. And those take me from 4 p.m. to approximately 12 p.m. So really it's work, then esports all day. Where do I find the time to put YouTube in there? It's pretty difficult. So looking back at what life was for me when I was just out of college, teaching, I used to work in New York City when I taught, so my commute was just about 2 hours per day. Actually, I think it was a little bit more. And I still had tons of time, tons more time that I have now. And really what drops this into the equation was having kids. When you have kids, they take up a large amount of your time. If they don't, in my opinion, you're not doing something right, because you should be spending time with your kids if you have them. You shouldn't be out playing games or doing other things while you have to spend some time with your kids. So for me, my time is limited, and Diablo Immortal, to play it as the Shadow or as the Immortal, you know, the deeper, more end game way of playing Diablo Immortal, you have to put in at least 1 hour per day, more like 2 hours per day to play that type of game properly. If you don't have that kind of time, if you're looking at 20 minutes to 30 minutes per day, you're going to be looking at yourself being an adventurer, running yourself some Elder Rifts, some Challenge Rifts, doing the Heliquary, going through the campaign. That is going to be your Diablo Immortal experience. Now, for me, I want to push that. I want to do more than that because this is kind of my job. It's what I do for a living. I should play at a higher level. Let's take a pause from the storytelling and remind you guys, if you want to see more Diablo Immortal videos, you need to let me know. The best way you could do this is right down below in the comments section. Drop on down there and type in more Diablo Immortal. Yes. And while you're down there, hit the sub button and give it a thumbs up, at least if you're enjoying yourself. So I want to hear a little bit about your stories as well, right? Like, tell me, are you still a student in school? Are you an adult working full-time but you don't have kids, or are you someone that does have kids? Maybe you're someone that has kids and you're in school, or you're someone that has kids and you are working. Let me know your situation and what your time looks like throughout the day. Now, I know a bunch of people who have gotten their hands on Diablo Immortal. Some of these people don't have a wife, they don't have kids, or they don't have a husband, and others do, and they have that whole family life and they're balancing the two. I would really love to hear how you guys are handling your situation if you already have Diablo Immortal, and if you don't, how you game in the meantime. If you remember some of my stories that I've told here in the past, my gaming experience changed drastically once I had kids, because once I had my son, I did not have the time to spend all night playing games on my Xbox, or then I switched over to PC. I didn't have time to spend all that time on my PC gaming all night long. I had to actually sneak in gaming sessions during the day. And that's why I became a mobile gamer. I was introduced to Clash of Clans, found a whole bunch of other great games along the way, and I no longer game on PC. I've gotten a sick rig right here in front of me, and I don't game on PC. Instead, I spend all my time gaming on my mobile phone because it fits my lifestyle. And I think it's really important because no one wants to give up what they love. I've had many friends tell me back in the day, I'm gonna game forever. I'm gonna be on Xbox. This gamer tag is gonna live forever. No one, no woman is gonna stop me from actually gaming. And I'm sure that if there's been a few females out there that said, no man is gonna stop me from gaming. I will tell you though, most people stop their gaming, or at least it changes big time compared to when they were younger, because time becomes an issue, relationships become an issue, and just your life situations can become an issue. So me, I didn't want to give it up. I actually made gaming a bigger part of my life because now it's my job to do gaming, but it's definitely changed and it's not what it used to be. And you don't see me spending 5 hours on Diablo Immortal every night, because if I did that, that's literally the time that I have to sleep. If I wake up at around 6:30 in the morning, and if I spend that 10:30 until, let's say, 2:30 in the morning playing Diablo Immortal, well, my sleep time is cut down to 4 hours. So yes, can we do that once in a while? Of course. Can we do it every day? No. And I can't live healthy. And on top of that, something I didn't even mention is I really try to stay on top of my fitness, whether that be going to the gym or working out in my garage. I try and get at least 1 hour of fitness in per day and sneak it into all the other stuff we have going on. So I guess I'll kick back and ask you guys to share your thoughts and your stories with me down below. Remember, I can have these casual conversations with you guys over some Diablo Immortal stuff, because sometimes it's good to talk about life rather than just giving you guides and tutorials on a video game, because we can experience the game together as we are right now and talk about greater and bigger things. Let me know if you like this idea for videos and if you were interested while you were watching, or if it's something that you really weren't interested in and you'd rather the other stuff. I could definitely do a mix of both, but I really want to know your honest opinions down below. If you don't want to give it to me down below, of course, you can come through my Discord server, which is also linked down below, or you can come through my Twitter, which is also linked down below. Either way, I had a good time making this video. It's nice to reminisce on the olden days and think about how it used to be. Nemo, not married, no kids. That guy can play Diablo Immortal all day. I'm jealous, but I do love my kids and my wife. Hope you guys have a great day and be good.